Hi everyone, Philip Good here. I am a relationship coach and mentor, and the title of this video is Only One Love, right? My wife and I have been married for 49 years, and so I know a little bit about love. And it's always saying there's two types of love, right? There's unconditional love and there's conditional love. Well, I'm here to tell you by experience there is only one love, and that is unconditional love. How can you have conditional love and say you really love any person, your partner, for instance? You know, if you say, "Oh, if you put out the trash, I'll love you. If you buy me a new home, you if you don't if you don't back me up, if you don't, um, agree with everything I say, I won't love you." Well, I'll love you to a point, but really, in a great marriage, in a great relationship like my wife and I have had, we love each other unconditionally right from the start, with all our imperfections, because our imperfections are our perfections, right? They are perfections in waiting, in time, and imperfection will be turned around. That is a great relationship where you truly care for each other, right? And unconditional love, anybody, any parent out there knows what it is. The birth of a child, right? You see a little baby just born. That outpouring of love is you can't put it into words. It's just the emotions, the feelings pour out of your heart. That's what it's. So if you have unconditional love for your child, why have you got unconditional love for your husband or your wife? Because without the love that you two shared, there wouldn't be any baby. There wouldn't be any child, right? So really, it's very, very simple. And I coined it as let one value the essence, the heart and the soul of something. But you might have your own version of what you consider love to be. But if you can think of a newborn baby and relate that to your feelings of love, it'd be pretty on the mark. On another level, love is doing what you wish without any conditions. So in other words, having total freedom to do what you wish to do or you desire to do. In this day and age, of course, with all the rules and regulations in society, it's really hard to find that unconditional love, isn't it? Out there in the world, because we live in a world of materialism, and um, but materialism, but wealth, monetary wealth, has got nothing to do with unconditional love, real love, true love. That always comes from the heart. True love, unconditional love is found in the. You can't have you can't say to somebody, partner, I unconditionally love you, but there's no but, right? So as I said before, I'm a relationship coach and mentor with 49 years experience. My wife and I, however, we grew up in families that were anything but unconditionally loving. There were brief moments, but very basically my wife and I grew up with a lot of harms, with a lot of hostility. And quite often we would wonder what was going to happen each day of the 17 or 18 years we were in our family flat or the family home we grew up in. So it was like every day was you're totally unexpected, but could expect volatility and often violent argument, but there was very little love in the equation. So when my wife, Eileen, and myself got married, we had no good role model to draw upon. We had to sort of dev devise a strategy, a series of plans of what we wanted and what we didn't want in our relationship, in our marriage. And while nothing is perfect where feelings and emotions are involved with two people, because we grew up in different families with different beliefs, right? But the thing is, when we have different beliefs, it's not to put the other down, it's to celebrate our differences. It's a way to learn and understand more about our partners. It's not to say, I'm right, you're wrong. There's only one way or the highway. No, you've got to consider everyone's beliefs, everyone's points of view, because according to their beliefs, they're right. So in other words, nobody's wrong. But in a situation where husband and wife, two partners come together, there's got to be compromise. You've got to listen to each other because listening, learning, and experience is what it's all about. It's what life's about. It's really we're here in this life to learn, and experience. And guess what? If something doesn't go as good as we expected, what do we do? Do we do the same thing again, over and over again, and expect a different result? No. As we grow in our relationship, we get older. Hopefully, we can gain more wisdom and change. Because guess what? We're changing every day of our life. We can change our behavior to something that we know that doesn't rub our partner back the wrong way, right? Why would we want that? If we really love, care, and respect our partners, we want them to be happy, don't we? Because when they're happy, we're happy. And happiness, joy, and love, togetherness, working as a team, doing things together, physical touch, spending quality time together, receiving gifts, giving gifts, and words. You say words of affirmation. I love you. Every time I get up in the morning, I say I love my wife. I give her a cup of coffee. And for nearly 48 years of my life, I've been a dairy farmer. So I've been up very early, cows, and I've always made my wife a cup of coffee. I've had one, give my wife, and a piece of toast as well. And before we go to sleep at night, we always give each other kisses and hugs and say, I love you. Going back to when I first saw my wife, Eileen, we were at a caravan park in the summer at the beach in New Zealand. She was walking across in her caravan to the camp kitchen with her two kid sisters. And the look on her kid sisters' faces was they were skipping and dancing around on it. They were happy. So they idolized their oldest. And I remember looking at the caravan window thinking, wow, that girl's a bit of all right. And this, as the oldest sister, I it was just a two-way thing. They loved each other. The two kids sisters loved her. She loved me. And there's one thing when I came to meet Arlene, because I actually have two sisters myself. and my two sisters and Eileen got together, and what my older of my two kid sisters said to Eileen that my brother thinks you're a bit all right, and of course, Eileen's sister said that to her, "Oh, this guy, Gavin thinks you're a bit all right." So that's how we come to get together. But actual fact, as you cross the camp kitchen at the time, I could actually see the love that seemed to glow from her, right? It was almost like a star, and she's always been like that in her whole married life. Not only myself, but anybody she meets never forgets my wife Eileen because of the love she has in her heart, and it just goes out into the world. It's, she touches anybody she comes into contact with, including me. She was an absolute marvel, really, because she grew up with a lot of violence, and before we met at 21, 22, she'd already forgiven her parents. It took me 65 years of my life to forgive my parents. 65 years. In hindsight, I wish I'd taken a leaf out of Artie's book and took her lead on board because it would have got rid of a lot of inbuilt anger and hate, those horrible feelings you carry with you for years. You know? And because she gave her parents, because forgiveness is part of unconditional love as well, right? As is gratitude. And so it changed her totally. By the time I met her, she was like a totally loving being, where she wasn't brought up in her home like that, but through her forgiveness, she brought that unconditional love feeling between herself and her parents back into being. And when I met her, that's the way she was. And when I listened to her story at speech, I couldn't believe the sort of horrific story she was telling me at 16 years of age, being hit over the back by her dad because she was black and blue on her back and couldn't walk. She crawled out of the bedroom window to a neighbour's place. That's the sort of violence I'm talking about. Yet, even with that violence, she forgave her parents within 5 years, and that's changed. So, it's so important, isn't it? If you want to unconditionally love yourself, always feel you're good enough, you belong, and you are lovable, then forgive yourself, your parents, other people, because it'll wipe all the baggage, all those hateful feelings from your heart, get them out of your body, out of your being, so that you're free to be the unconditional loving soul you were come into this life. And guess what? When we pass over into this life, we pass back into unconditional love. Our challenge in this life, coming in as a 3D being, I mean, it's really low level frequency. It's materialistic. A lot of it, the life we live is corrupt. We are slaves in this reality. But in spite of all that, our mission is to go from out doing things outside of love, or experiencing things outside of love, growing up in a family where you might be treated unkindly, unjustly, even cruelly, is to overcome all that, to forgive the people involved, forgive yourself, so you can come back in unconditional love. Our only mission on earth is regardless of what you experience is the question is, can you or will you come back into unconditional love before you pass on from this life? Learning to love is our only mission on earth. It can take people longer than that, but never give up. Never give up on unconditional love. And guess what? When you really and truly love someone or something, you cannot love them. You're only kidding yourself if you think that. You either truly love somebody or something, truly and forever, or not at all. There isn't conditional love. That doesn't exist. That's not love. If you say to somebody, "I love you, but I love you if you do this or do that," that's not love. That's judgment. You can't have unconditional love with a judgment, right? You can't have unconditional love for your partner and blame them for doing this, that, or the other. There's no blame. There's only always sticking to the issue, solving the issue together. Never ever become personal in blaming your partner, ever. In 49 years, my wife and I have never blamed each other for anything, not one thing. We've had arguments like every couple does, but we never become personal and blame each other. When you become personal and blame each other for something, that's the beginning of the end of your relationship. Please remember that. It's so, so important. On that note, I wish you all unconditional love, and I unconditionally love all of you. Like I said in the beginning, I'm a relationship coach and a mentor. I like to sort of say that I'm more of a mentor and a guide because I don't think a lot of people need to be coached as stuff. You can just be guided, right? Because at times you just get off track and you want somebody to guide you, get you back to get on track, right? You can't anyone can change if you really care for, respect, and unconditionally love your partner. Everything is possible. Nothing is impossible. Unconditional love is all there is in life. Thank you. I love you guys. Bye for now.